Hello all, greetings, this is Gilles Mancillon. I thought I'd come and say hello for this Epiphany, for it is the 12th day of those 12 sacred days of Christmas, from the Christmas day to the Christmas Eve to the sixth, the fifth, the Epiphany, when the wise king came to deliver presents to the baby Christ. And so in essence, I'm here to talk about spiritual ideas for it is and to remind you of your divine origin, your divine destiny, and your divine inheritance. For we all have that, but we've forgotten it. For everything in this material world is created specially to design to distract us and oppose that understanding of our inner light. For it is a matrix that was created voluntarily to imprison souls into the matrix. And so it is a challenge. It is very challenging. It's one of the most difficult planets to incarnate on in the whole universe. Well, I don't know all the planets of the universe, but it seems to be a consensus from the higher plane to define that idea that the earth is one of the most difficult. Even the Christ when he was crucified wasn't a good sign in some sense to not to accept and allow the presence of love. For we do want to create the bridge between heaven and earth, the bridge between what we need and want from where we are to what we need and want. We want to fill the gap so that we can allow the energy to enter into our life and to find this fulfillment. We have to understand that from a spiritual point of view, there is a part of us that's inside all beings that exist that we meet, and all beings have a part of us, a part of them within ourselves. What is this part? Is the common part. It is the innate, the spiritual part, the God part. This I am presence, the mystery monitor, and so this is really what connects it all. For we live in a world that's created out of duality. Yesterday I spoke about the second chakra. My second chakra all night was very in pain, and so, but I think there was some sort of liberation today. And so the second chakra is the second dimension. It is the world of duality. When we move to the third dimension, we introduce the mind that needs to integrate the balance of energy. For mind is only use. Mind has to be used when spirit and matter are misaligned. On paradise, mind and spirit are one. So the mind is used for expansion outside of paradise. But there is no need to when spirit and matter are one and united, there is no need for analysis. Everything is in divine alignment. And so we have to also, we seek to transform into fifth dimensional beings, to crystallite energy, but we won't be able to fully access that until the whole planet moves into fourth dimension. So we have to be really patient and deal with the whole transmutation to send. It is good to utilize this violet fire to send prayers and like in the Middle East, to send violet fire to all these regions so it can be stabilized, and we do not want more conflict and more brutality. So to appease it, and to send also a lot of violet fire around Washington D.C. for the United States, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights they were setting up for the golden age. It was already the preparation, but America has moved out of their own constitution, and the Bill of Rights is not respected. America has been hijacked by powers, and now it's in the process of being liberated. Once America will be liberated, the whole world will follow. So it is important to send love and blessing to those places. And because the mother has revealed that she came down to the earth, she sent this ruby light energy in order to eliminate all of the dark power, the dark forces that are controlling the matrix. For there will be within the next 5 years, the world will be completely different. We'll have a lot more time as an artist, I do have time to create, but most people are so busy, by necessity, they have to utilize their time in things sometimes that are not fully brings them joy, but as the financial world, it's transformed and there's this jubilees created, we will be able to find everybody will have the time to paint, to write, to play music, to do anything, to do all kinds kinds of creative or to do meditation or spiritual pursuit. It's not because we have time that we are involved in spiritual pursuit. A lot of people have a lot of time that have no interest in spirituality. But for those who want, we should be able to liberate a lot more time, and we're gonna have to very quickly. We're gonna see the dislocation of all the old government, or the tyrannical government. They're not all tyrannical, but they're not. Most governments are not serving the people; they're serving themselves and the corporate associates that they're working with, that are financing them and supporting them. And so those will be dismantled, and we have to move into a form of divine government. Each country, there is enough light worker in each country to carry on the torch and to re-establish a divine government where every being will find health, wealth, joy. It will take time but the freedom is given by listening to the inner voice and following that inner voice, that higher self. In essence, we want to become one with the infinite nature within ourselves. But we do need to be in acceptance of the climate, the social climate, the political climate, the economical climate. We have to disengage as much as possible if we can find our own independence, and to allow all the process to go through whatever process, and not to be drawn into for there will be so much change that will be shaking the world in this year and the coming years, and to focus on your own freedom, your own joy, your own abundance. In a sense, let us hope this week brings a certain resolution. And so I'll pull a few cards from here. There are 5 cards. They're very intuitive cards. They're like very union cards. I just got those cards. So the situation, the past is a faithful heart. The present is into the sea. And the future is a blessing. Well, that's quite wonderful. Blessings in the future, this card. So I'm going to just take a quick look through the book, because I haven't really had a chance to integrate all this information. So faithful heart is about faithfulness, loyalty, devotion. So we have proven to ourselves that we're really dedicated to ourselves and to our highest good, and to the highest good of all. The situation that is now, which is into the sea, is the card number 7. Into the sea, to be in the current, to return to the source, to recognize how every piece fits together, a model of natural events. So it's about flowing with the flow as much as possible, and the blessings that is coming, which is 22, something marvelous that is not deserved or expected. A happiness that is a gift, unexpected gift from spirit. So that's quite wonderful. What we're working on right now is may the truth be. Que la vérité soit. May the truth be. So it's about this card is number 14, and the oracle, I will integrate them, is about honesty, accepting all things at nominal value, coming out of denial, the will to be transparent, and clarity in communication. Well, that's what we're working on. And the outcome is between words. Between words, and so that means that there is still we're still not fully into the new world. We have to accept it's called transition. Not yet to be out of a situation and fully engaged in a new one. Being temporarily blind. Or a buffer zone. So it will all come, but we have to. It's taking time to release all the past. It is not. This painting behind me it's in French. It says life is a great blank canvas. It's from 2006. I made the one. It's in America. I have to retrieve it. It's another painting that's very different than this one, but it says life is a great blank canvas in English, and in essence life becomes a great blank canvas when we have removed all the attachment to the past, because otherwise in our canvas, when we come to create, we have to deal with everything that's been created before. So but once we find this ascending point, life becomes a blank canvas, and we can create anything we want. And so I wanted to speak about I was saying there is no absolute in this reality. For absolute, something that is absolute in truth. The book of Urantia talks a bit about that. And it's the absolute. I understand, and something that is absolute is changeless. It cannot change. It has no past, no future. It's timeless and spaceless. So that's the quality of the absolute. From the absolute level, there is only one absolute, which is infinite, but it manifests on Paradise as 7 co-absolute, 3 that are existential, that are. I'm discussing those things that are very deep and spiritual. That have very little to do with what's going on the earth, but so to bring it up anyway. And so there is the first source and center, the universal father, the second source and center, the eternal son, and the conjunct actor, the third source and center, the infinite spirit. And on Paradise, which is also an absolute, but it's an impersonal absolute. And then there is 3 co-absolutes of potentiality, which is the deity absolute, the unqualified absolute, and the universal absolute. So those beings are always interacting on the mass level of all that is beyond the transformation of time and space. For time and space is about the supreme and the ultimate. It's about resolving the parameters of time and space and all the transcendental level beyond that. Yet the absolute is way beyond that. Yet so it is about when the deity absolute acts, and there is a reaction in the unqualified absolute, which is the deity absolute is the sum of all that is personal, and the unqualified absolute is the sum of all that is non-personal. It's not a person, it's a force. And then there is an harmonization factor, which is called the universal absolute, that balances out the personal and the impersonal. It's like an overseeing energy. And so but time and space is not about the absolute. It's about the supreme. We want to achieve that supremacy, that point of freedom from time and space. And so I think I covered a little bit what I wanted to it's all we are created as one, but sometimes we feel like we are zero. We are more than one, and so we all the beings are created as one. Once we become one, no more, no less, we become one with the one. Then once all the ones are becoming one, then the one is become the one. Until then, there is a progression towards that. And we need to remove our consciousness from all those mortality experience. For life wasn't created, we were not created as mortal beings. We've never been. It's just this matrix, this planet is being raided by dark forces that have created this oppressive. It's like a prison planet, and so we were, when we first came here, we could manifest food or whatever we needed just with our thoughts, but those powers were removed. We had to go into agriculture, and then they created money to keep the world oppressed, because the lower class are suffering even more. So we have to get closer to this point of freedom, this jubilee, where everybody will be able to be restored into human dignity. But those who created money created that so that the light workers could incarnate. But if they deprive of the ability to be fully financed, they have to be in a survival mode, and they cannot really work towards the liberation of the planet. And that's what was created for that. Yet we have to accept things. We have to be in total acceptance of what is, and to know that there is a greater plan at work. And so the painting behind me is a cosmic painting. It's got this Maya, a little bit Maya's sun here, with Mercury, Venus, Earth, Gaia, Mars, Pax or Maldex, Jupiter, Neptune, Chiron, Nibiru, Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, and here there's Black Moon Lilith, there is Juno, Pallas Athena, Ceres, and Vesta. It's an interesting painting. It's quite dynamic, and there's spaceships that are coming from the bottom. And so I just wanted to say hello on this day. I wasn't really feeling too hot, but so I come anyway. And we have to have trust and faith. Whatever we'll face, whatever is coming before us. For anything that does not kill us will make us stronger. This was Friedrich Nietzsche. I'm not Nietzschean, for I don't agree with most of what he says, but he did say some really important. He had some very important ideas, nevertheless. I'm going to sing a song. It's a classic. It's a classic of rock and roll. It's a bit sad song, but it came to my mind, and so I started singing. It was On Top of the Pile. It's called The House of the Rising Sun. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruins of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time that he's satisfied is when he's all drunk. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done, to spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. I got one foot on the platform, the other on the train, and I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruins of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. A powerful song. It's been sung by so many people. So I think it was The Animals. So I like the version of Bob Dylan as well. For New Orleans, a very special city. I passed through many times through New Orleans, but I never really was comfortable to stay. I never stayed more than 2 weeks in New Orleans. Always felt like danger and like. But maybe I will in the future. For some cities are more appropriate at certain time for you. One thing for sure is that you eat very well in New Orleans. What I remember is the food is one of the best. They have some of the best restaurants in America in New Orleans. I haven't been back since the hurricanes, but hopefully, if God willing, I will be traveling back to America and to reconnect to many friends friends, families, clients that I have there, and also to enjoy the process. The card of the day is the Six of Raphael. What a wonderful card. Allow the child within you to emerge. New friends or old relations that are coming back. Childhood or children. So it's the card of joy. It's about of reconnecting to joy and love and soulmates and friends and those deep connections. Well, I hope you find this video interesting. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I wish you a wonderful day, and hopefully I will come back. Although this week is a lot of things going on in this week. If I can, I will return and continue to my discussion, find new approach to things, and continue to discuss those ideas. For they will emerge more and more, and they will become, even if they are not fully integrated. Spirituality is not really the focal point of this time that we live in. As time goes on, it will become more and more and more and more important. Everybody will have to address that inner self and to tune into that inner light. For when we want to tune into that, to listen to that inner light. That's where the freedom lies, is the ability to make sometimes abstraction of what is going on in the world in order to focus on that and accepting all those things that are going on as part of the great process of life. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, wonderful Epiphany, and I talk to you later. Namaste.